Software testing. It sounds so complicated, right? It's full of all this jargon. But what if I told you that at its heart, it's really just a simple conversation? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of its most basic concepts: input and output. And honestly, by the end of this, you're going to see that you're already an expert at this. You just don't know it yet. So, just imagine for a second, what if you could test any app, any website, just by having a conversation with it? You ask it to do something, and you just watch what it does in return. It sounds kind of like science fiction, I know. But that simple idea, that's the key to understanding how pretty much all software testing really works. And that's really the big idea for today. Think of it just like this. You, the tester, you start a dialogue. You give the software a command, and then you just observe its response. This basic back and forth is the foundation for almost every single kind of software test out there. So in this conversation, it's pretty straightforward. If the software gives you the answer you were expecting, boom, the test passes. But if it gives you the wrong answer, or maybe it just completely breaks down, well, the test fails. And just like that, you found a bug. See? It's really that simple. Okay, so every conversation has two sides, right? What you say and what you get back. In the world of testing, we just have a couple of fancy words for that: input and output. Or to put it even more simply, the action and the reaction. Let's break those down. That's your part of the conversation. It's the action you take. It could be something as simple as typing your password into a login box, clicking a Buy Now button, or uploading a photo. Basically, it's any command you give the software to make it do something. Let's make this even clearer. Think about a vending machine. The coin you drop in and the button you press for chips. Yep, that's your input. You've just given the machine a direct, unmistakable command. And the output? Well, that's the software's reply. It's the reaction to your action. Did a new web page load? Did you get a little confirmation message? Did a file start downloading? That result, whatever it is, that's the output. So back to that vending machine. The bag of chips dropping down into the tray, that's the output. But what if nothing happens? Or what if it gives you pretzels instead? That's also an output. It's just the wrong one. And finding those wrong outputs, that is exactly what a tester is looking for. So why do we even care about this conversation? Why does this matter so much? Well, it's all about catching those surprises before a real user does. The whole point of testing is to make sure the software behaves exactly how it's supposed to, reliably every single time. And this whole input-output thing, it's everywhere in testing. The why is a big one. We test to catch really bad errors, like a calculator app that thinks 1 + 1 is 11. And the when is super important too. Think of it like building a car. The developers build the engine and the chassis, but the testers, they're the ones who have to take it for a spin to find all the rattles and flaws before it ever gets to the showroom. Okay, so that's the theory, but what does this look like out in the wild, in practice? Let's take a look at how this simple conversation gets turned into an actual test for an app you probably use every day. So testers create these simple little scripts. Let's take a login page, for example. You can see the flow is crystal clear. There are two inputs. You type in the username and password, then you click the login button. And there's one very specific output they're looking for, that welcome screen. If they see it, the test passes. If literally anything else happens, it fails. And this same idea, this input-output model, it works for pretty much everything. For a search bar, your input is iPhone 15, and the output you expect is a list of iPhones. But check out the calculator example. A good tester isn't just going to check 2 + 2. No way. They're going to input something like 10 divided by 0, just to see if the app gives a proper error message instead of just crashing. They're trying to break it. All right, so you get the mechanics now, but let's talk about the mindset. What is it that separates a good tester from a great one? It really comes down to a few key habits when they're thinking about inputs and outputs. See, a really great tester, they don't just stick to the happy path where everything works perfectly. They actively try to break things. They'll use weird inputs like typing emojis or negative numbers, because guess what? Real users do totally unexpected things. They also check for invisible outputs, like making sure a confirmation email was actually sent, not just taking the on-screen message's word for it. Okay, let's bring this all home with one last analogy that I think really nails it: a coffee machine. The input is super simple. You press the cappuccino button. The machine does its work behind the scenes. That's the process. And the output? A perfect hot cup of cappuccino. That's the ideal conversation. But here's the real takeaway. The job of a tester isn't just to check if the cappuccino button works. It's to press every single button, the espresso button, the latte button, and to find out what happens when the machine runs out of water. The goal is to make sure that no matter what a user does, the machine never fails or, explodes. And that right there, that is the secret conversation that makes all great software possible.